having them in, and we can start in 3 minutes. Is there anything else you guys want to go through? Any questions before we start?
I think we are good on our side because we went through the list and then we pretty much understood. I don't. What about you, Daniel? You good with everything, right?
Yeah, no,
The
no, I'm
document.
good with everything
You
and
good?
opening the floor up for everyone. Yeah, I'm good to go.
Cool.
Guys, let me just have a chat with the guild, and then let's get them in. I mean, we had like 2,000 interests. Oh, no, I think 1,200
1,000, yeah.
interests. And let's see if they are actually interested.
Well, they get actually notifications right on time. So right now we're still 3 minutes early.
That's right. Okay, cool. It's frustrating how Discord can't stream screen in stage. That'd be pretty cool if you can.
Yeah, it will be pretty cool. But how do they do that on the other server? Oh, they do the YouTube and then the Facebook and then Twitch stream. That's all.
And then stream it through, right? Yeah. Yeah, apologize. We're a bit like kind of underprepared with a lot of these AMAs because our team is still so stretched with the IDO sprint that we're having at the moment. And we just like once obviously the token launch is finalized for the guild, we can expand the team a little bit more. Then we can actually have like a proper framework around broadcasting a lot of the events. Right now it's just Discord or Facebook live, and then someone's got to go into the booth and just stream it through the Discord.
No problem.
It's tragic, man.
Let me get you guys set up for our announcement in our channel.
How was the Merit Circle AMA? Was it okay?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. But I mean, in general, I feel like sometimes the different time zone at the same time people are not used to space or we probably need more people like that is influential to jump on and ask questions and talk. Then they will be bringing their audience.
I see. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things.
What was the biggest AMA size that you guys did?
Um,
On Discord, it was our own that we did on Sunday, right? How we got like 500 550, I think it peaked at.
yeah.
That's sick. Awesome.
Yeah,
But
our Discord.
the biggest one actually it's in one of the Twitch channel that the person is from Loud GG.
Right.
Yeah.
That one's 2,200 people
On Twitch, right?
on Twitch. Yeah, he went on
Yeah.
streaming for the whole day, so that's why. All right, I think
see.
the time's up.
All right, guys. I will start this event now. You guys all ready?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. No problem. Good morning, Avocadians. How are we doing today? Let's first do some housekeeping. If you guys want to participate in the AMA today, please go to the Big Time Games AMA chat channel under welcome. Give a big welcome to our hosts, to our guest speakers today, Han and Daniel from Big Time Games. Come on, hello guys.
Nice.
Hey everyone.
Hi everybody.
Awesome. Yeah. So, can you guys see the chat as well, Han and Jan? Can you guys see the chat? Big Time Games, just above the stage channel here. So, if you guys want to keep track of what the audience is saying or what the questions in here, then feel free to just jump on the chat channel and have a look. Okay. Chip, how you doing, man?
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us. Chip, I think your mic's a bit hello. Can you guys hear Chip?
No.
That's funny. Okay. While Chip fixes the microphone, let's get started, guys. Okay. So, Avocadians, thank you so much, guys, for joining the AMA today. We're here with the team at Big Time Games, an official partner of Avocado Guild. We're super excited to kind of join this venture in with them, and we have purchased a big, decent land from them as well to start building and start bringing in scholars in next year. So, Dan and Han, we're really happy that you're here today to share with us about Big Time. I mean, before we go into further details, would you mind sharing us about your background and what you do now at Big Time?
Sure, kick it off, hon.
Yeah, sure. Well, I'm currently the community lead for Big Times, and then all you guys see in our Discord server is we'll manage that, and then we help everybody to gather their information within our Discord. So that's my job.
And hey, everyone, I'm Daniel. I'm head of monetization and the game economy. And a side project is launching that marketplace that we just launched. So, yeah, any questions regarding the game or the marketplace, I can definitely answer them.
Perfect, guys. All right, guys. So, Avocadians, so the plan for today is that we're going to go through a few set of questions and really get to know about Big Time Games, the mechanics, and also some of the features of the game. And then once the questioning is finished, you guys can start compile for all the questions that you guys prepared yesterday. Feel free to shoot them into the Big Time Games AMA chat channel, and we'll pick a few good questions from that channel and then ask our guest today. And I guess when we do select the winners, we'll select one, two, three, was it? How many, Han?
Three.
How many? Three, was it? Well, three. We'll
Yeah.
select three winners from the chat group, and you guys will be receiving a mystery box from Big Time Games. So yeah, get excited, guys. I'm personally super excited about this game. I'm a big RPG fan, and I would love to raid and do some runs and do some grind with the guild as well. Okay. So, guys, let's get kick started. So, tell us about Big Time. What's the game about, guys?
All right. So Big Time is like the first a triple A MMORPG game with like the tools of like adding up NFTs and the crypto assets in it. So when we look at a Big Time, it is basically for everyone because it's a free to play and it's about 80% of a Diablo 2s and then 20% of World of Warcraft. So basically, anybody can join into the game and then be able to partner up with their friends, a group of six, to go through the dungeons and then play the game. Why we say 80% of Diablo is because you know how we play Diablos, we have dungeons and kill the monster and getting the loot. That's basically most of the Big Times gameplay. And then 20% of World of Warcraft is because that's the core of the MMO formula, right? That we got at different classes like the tank, healer, mage, and then damage classes. These are the core classes within the Big Time. So that's about it. That's what a Big Time is about.
Man, that's awesome. Like, play to earn mechanics in a MMORPG are it's the perfect match. It's actually the perfect match because previously when we grind in Diablo or WoW, right, those times spent like years sometimes, years spent, and then at the end we got nothing to show for it. So hopefully this future will bring a better outlook on this, especially with
Absolutely.
NFT integrations. So guys, who's working on Big Time right now? What's the team like?
Yeah, so our teams, like Daniel, right now right next to me is also used to work at Blizzard Activisions, and obviously our CEO Ari, he used to co-founded at Decentraland, right? And with Thor's help, and now Thor is our chief product officer, who's used to pioneer in MMO in EA, and then help Zynga from a tiny startup to a largest IPO since Google, while scaling the portfolio of games over 20 million users. And then we got our Matt, which is the chief technology officer who used to work at huge games like Fortnite, Gears of War, Medal of Honors at Epic and EA. And we got Tom, our lead concept artist, who worked at League of Legends at Riot. And then TJ, our lead level designer, who used to work at a big Call of Duty franchise, right? And then got Aaron, our art directors, and then Martin's our principal engineer. They are used to work at Fortnite and Gears of War as well. So basically, our team is full of a dream team that most people in the crypto world wants, right? We have veterans of gamers, the game developers, and then veterans of this crypto world. Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, like, this is when we were asking the question earlier on in July this year. When will the big game developers come in, right? We're not talking about the actual companies. We're talking about teams. These guys are ex Call of Duty, ex Medal of Honor, ex League of Legends. They're all coming into this space, and this is when it's going to start ramping up, right? Because gameplay is important, right? Like, if we're talking about video
Yeah.
games, if gamers care about games, we care that it's fun. Like, previously we pay the game companies to play. Now you're actually getting paid to play. So, I think the product for the game is
Right.
very important. And if we're Avocado Guild, man, we are very, very active in seeking for like awesome games for our scholars to play. So yeah, I think Big Time's a really, really good project coming up, and I'm very excited to get started. Just hurry up and release the game, guys.
Very
Seriously.
soon, guys. Very soon. 4 more months, all right?
All right. Um, since we were talking about land, Avocado Guild did invest some land into Big Time. So let's talk us through the land feature in Big Time, guys. That's quite exciting.
Yeah, for sure. I could take that one. So our land in big time is called Space. They are NFTs and different than your traditional blockchain game that has virtual land, which is on a two-dimensional grid, and you kind of find out where's your land. Positioning is very important. We took a different approach. So we took a lot of learnings I already got with Decentraland, and one of the first things we did with Big Time was decide that everyone can get a starting time machine. And what your time machine is essentially it's your own home, it's your player's home, it's your base of operations. And for players and guilds that have gotten lots of the space, the land, you can build it out. You can build it top down, either side. It's kind of three-dimensional space, how you want to clip together all your space within your time machine, and you just start expanding its size. And for traditional gamers, what we've introduced is something very similar to what like Final Fantasy has, or what Path of Exile has, which is you can decorate it. You can find decorative NFTs in the game for your time machine and the space that expanded it. And you can bring your friends to hang out there. And it's a space that you can teleport to, right? Your time machine is kind of like a TARDIS, essentially. You can teleport to it, hang out there, and then go off on your next mission. But we've also introduced this idea of making sure that any of our space, you can install utility for it. So if you can imagine that space and you're expanding it, and Avocado Guild got a bunch of space, and you got a really, really big time machine with all these rooms and spaces, you can then decide what do you want to install in it, right? Do you want to install the NFT called the Timekeeper? Do you want to install an NFT called a Forge? There are other NFTs we haven't announced yet that all have utility, and they all have to do with producing NFT equipment, upgrading NFT equipment, making unique NFTs like the Hourglass, which unlocks the ability to earn tokens when you're fighting monsters. The list is going to keep on growing. What we want to do is create all this space and players' time machines as a parallel game experience. So you can go out and venture with your friends, and then you can head over to your space, get your forges ramping up, start producing some cool NFTs with the resources you found in the game, recharge your hourglasses so you can keep on finding tokens, and you can just keep scaling that up as your base of operations. And yeah, the more space you have, the more you can scale up, essentially.
So that's crazy. So essentially, instead of going back to town hall in a game, you go back to your space, and you can craft items there. You can upgrade all your items there, or is it
Yeah,
just kind of yeah?
yeah. So definitely we have like the big city experience like you have in World of Warcraft, or like Orgrimmar
Yep.
or Stormwind. But
Yep.
yeah, you can build out your space, your own personal space. And right now we've announced two of the features you can install on it. One is a Timekeeper, and he's an NFT that he can craft hourglasses, which when you have him equipped, lets you earn tokens in the game. And the other
Yeah.
one is the Forge, which allows you to upgrade existing NFTs that you have, possibly craft new NFTs too. We're still discussing how we want to incorporate that and make sure that the NFT market is healthy. But the
Yes.
cool thing is, you can imagine like you get a sword, and it's a rare sword. It's pretty cool. It's an NFT. You put it in your Forge. You put a few tokens in there, and then he upgrades to the next tier, and now it looks a lot cooler. Or it'll get a new cosmetic effect like flames or ice, things like that. So the idea is very much that giving players more autonomy in how they like to use their space. And for us, it's very much, we have a huge list of awesome ideas we want to incorporate, but we're taking it
Yep.
like step by step because we don't want to overload, the entire player base and say, hey, here are 30 different NFTs you can install in your space and they all do different things. We'll get there, but right now we want to focus on the coolest and most unique ones that we think are in the blockchain game.
Amazing. I mean, I heard that you talked about Path of Exile, and I assume that you used to play at Path of Exile as well.
We have a lot of devs that are huge fans of Path of Exile. So hideouts were a very big inspiration for the time machines in space.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Like the end games when the map feature, right? We can just go in, just select your maps and grind the end game maps. That's what I'm just kind of trying to envision. The end game of big time. Is that when the game starts start to actually begin to flourish? Like the
Um,
real
well,
like how do you guys see the roadmap of that?
Yeah, honestly, we see it taking two paths. So for traditional gamers that are not used to working with wallets and crypto and NFTs, one of our major goals is bringing them on board. So for them, it's going to be a very similar experience to Diablo and Path of Exile, right? It's all about their character. It's all about climbing those leaderboards, getting stronger, grinding at harder difficulties, and finding better loot. But in the other path, which is more for players and guilds that are already very comfortable with the blockchain space, then it's about scaling your time machines and leveling up the things you have installed on your space so they can produce a little bit faster, or maybe they'll be able to now produce something like a new tier of NFTs equipment. So that's kind of the other path that we see it going, and that's a path that we're kind of like holding ourselves back because like I said, we really want to develop that out, but we don't want to overload everyone with dozens of different choices to make right off the bat. So I definitely see two paths here where different audiences will see play the end game in different ways.
Amazing. Right. Sorry about all the gameplay questions because I personally just is an avid gamer and I just love to understand more about the game. The economy, Diablo 3. Are we gonna do something similar like that? Please tell me no.
God, no, 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 no. So like publicly, everyone knows. Like, if for folks that don't know, when Diablo 3 launched, there was an auction house where people can spend real money to buy equipment. But
Yep.
Diablo 3 equipment is combat equipment. It makes you stronger. It increases your damage. Increases critical hit rates, things like that. So
Yep.
that was terrible because it completely ruined the game experience, which is all about grinding and leveling up and finding that cool loot. We're not going to have that. So big time is strictly not pay to win. And the first thing we have to do is say is what is winning. And for us, it was very much about getting stronger characters and better combat gear. So what you see is gear that impacts your combat stats, strength, dexterity, damage, the basic things. They aren't NFTs because we don't want people to be able to sell them and ruin that game experience. You do have to earn them in the game playing and leveling up your character. What are NFTs would be mostly cosmetic for your character. There will be few that will give you small advantages in terms of grinding. So maybe you'll get a little bit better drop rates for certain things. And then obviously the NFTs for space, they're the ones with utility and decorative purposes, but no auction house, no way to buy strength and make your character stronger.
Can I sell my character?
Well, we never encourage when people start selling their accounts, but the characters are tied to the accounts, right? We don't have any plans for people to be able to start selling characters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yep. Passive trees? Sorry.
Sorry, the what?
Passive trees? Like,
Passive
is
tree.
there gonna passive trees for the characters? Is there gonna be like a passive skill tree or like
Oh yeah, yeah. So leveling
yeah?
up is pretty we're taking a unique approach to it where if anyone ever played like Ultima Online, Thor actually our co-founder worked on Ultima Online, but it's really about giving players more decisions on how they level up their character. So what's cool about how we're building the system, and I can't give too many details now, is that yeah, we have four classes, but as you level up those classes, they can become very distinct, from someone in the same class. So you have two time warriors, and they can play very differently. And then we'll have a different way for people to change how that character is essentially leveled out, right? So you can imagine an item that will completely change and unlock new skill trees and things like that. Then you equip the different item, and all of a sudden you have a different skill tree you can work through. So yeah, it's a pretty
That is
cool.
awesome.
Yeah,
That's
it's a pretty
sick.
cool
That's a good
thing.
idea. That's a really good idea. Instead of re-rolling at endgame, you're like, you know what? We just push out some of the gears, and it's pretty much a different class, right? Awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Sorry about that, guys. I got a bit carried away. Right. So as we mentioning, about the earning mechanics and also the tokens for the game. Does Big Time have plans for a token? Like, is that coming up?
Yeah, yeah. So Big Time will have a utility token. This token is only earned in the game. No one else has it. We don't have tokens. There are no investors with tokens. Our founders don't have tokens. It's very much a fair launch. And in order to earn that token, you have to be holding an NFT called an hourglass, which is created in space. So we personally won't be selling hourglasses directly to the public. We want to make sure that we're putting guilds and players in that market. So guilds and people who own space and the timekeepers will be producing the hourglasses. Um, and then yeah, when you're holding that hourglass and the sands are running, you earn tokens. The sands do run out, and then you have to take it back to your time machine to the timekeeper and have them charge it up again for a cost of some tokens.
Amazing. Right. I mean that's huge. That means guilds will pretty much be what the engine for Big Time. Like,
Yeah, pretty much. I
will
mean, if you were going to like try to draw a comparison with like Axes, we won't be selling Axes to anyone. We won't be selling hourglasses to anyone. What we'll be selling is the ability to produce them, right? Because when we look
how do
at
you
it,
produce an hourglass? Sorry, did I miss the answer? Like, how do you make an hourglass?
sure. So you have a special NFT called a timekeeper, and the timekeeper that's what we'll sell directly to the player base,
Right.
and they have the ability to craft hourglasses. So for example, no, don't take any of these numbers as solid. We're still working on how we want to balance it. But
Sure.
let's say you go to a timekeeper and you say, "Listen, I'm going to start using this timekeeper to craft hourglasses." At a cost, you produce the hourglasses. It'll take maybe 24 hours, and then out will come an hourglass that's an NFT.
Right.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's how it works.
Is it kind of similar to like breeding, right? A little bit similar to FC breeding, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of how we're modeling it a little bit off of. One of the
Okay.
major differences, though, and this is still uh, under discussion, is putting a cap on hourglasses because one of the major things we want to avoid is an over farming of tokens, essentially, where
Mm,
it makes it very difficult to then adjust things afterwards. So
right.
we are looking to how do we put a healthy cap, or how do we slow down the creation of hourglasses much later in the life cycle to make sure that one, we don't have an excess of people out there grinding tokens, and two, we're able to accompany the speed at which tokens are being found in the game to make sure we're always having cool new uses for them in the game as opposed to trying to play catch up.
Amazing. Will there be any kind of random drops of hourglass or like raids rewards?
um, Yeah, he's asking a question. So I can say hourglasses are not all in one the same. They have different things and details to them.
Even fragments to make
Oh
hourglass,
man.
right? I don't know. I'm just going on I'm going on a
No,
tangent
definitely.
here.
One
Yeah,
thing we have kind of decided on our side is we want to make as many of these NFTs that we sell also earnable in game. Now,
Amazing.
obviously, you might have to grind a lot for a good chance to find one, but you'll still be able to, right? So
Can you
that
imagine the reward feeling though? Can you guys imagine that reward feeling when you actually grind like I don't know a shard of hourglass? You're just like holy shit, I actually made money.
Yeah, or even a unique hourglass, that has a slightly better token drop rate, things like that. That's those are the type of
Yeah,
mechanics we want to play with. So you can't produce this one; you can only find it in the game, and there are only I don't know like 30 of them.
that's
And yes, so
insane.
that's how we want to kind of play with that mechanic.
Well, that's how you keep your players playing for a long, long time.
Oh yeah, I have some pretty good inspiration from certain WoW drops that were just absolute nightmares to actually get. Yeah.
But when you do get it, right? Remember that feeling?
Exactly. Or you see someone who has it and you're like, I can't believe it. I saw someone that actually had that specific mount. Yeah.
Right. All right. So, I mean, how will guilds fit into big time then?
Oh man. So it's very interesting in a sense because we have two concepts of guilds to merge together, right? One is your traditional MMORPG guild that has all the in-game features and abilities that guilds have, as well as like the cool things that they can do together as a guild. And then there's the new blockchain game guild space, right? Which like Avocado Guild is part of. And so for us, we kind of went back to the drawing board and we like looked through our lots of conversations with the blockchain guilds saying, what is it that makes your life a huge pain in the ass? And they would come back saying, listen, we have to help players set up their wallets, manage them. We have to do all these agreements outside of any platform we're using. If a game has an API, obviously we have to connect to it, and then we have to develop all these tools. So we're actually able to, after a lot of discussions internally with what we're able to do, a lot of these things will be brought into the game. So things such as like splitting token drops immediately when token falls, right? Or how to share NFTs within the game. So a guild might be producing all the hourglasses and then they can share them with their scholars. So those type of things are what we're aiming to bring into the game. As well as looking at traditional guild features from MMORPGs, like hey, maybe guilds have a standard they could have. They have a guild bank or a guild shared inventory type of thing. So those things are what we want to be able to ship all the guild features with. How it's going to work is will come a time next year after the early access passes where we look at all the different things that work together. So all the guild features, the tokens, all the space and utility for space. And we want to make sure that they all come out together so that everything's immediately accessible, as opposed to like piecemeals where like, oh, cool, I have space, but timekeepers and forges aren't out yet, so I can't really use my space yet. So we want to make sure everything comes out together.
And this is ambitious, but I believe that your team can execute this to perfection.
Me too. I hope so. No. The team is like top notch. I'm surprised that like when you look at the game how it is right now before any heavy polishing has even started, it's already a fun game to play. So I'm pretty excited.
All right, that pre-alpha guys. I'm gonna DM you. All right, so I mean, as we go on, like big time will not be pay to win, right? I mean, we answered this question already, so let's tell the audience again, guys. Like, will big time game be a pay to win game?
No.
No.
Yeah,
Good,
you cannot buy strength in big time.
good,
Only
perfect.
cosmetic NFTs.
All right, hear that, guys? That's huge. That's very critical. Um, so how will big time attract gamers who are not already crypto investors? Like, how are we gonna get the mainstream audience over, guys?
Take that one, Han.
Yeah, so I think this is the reason why I'm joining the team in the first place because I see big times when they're creating this space for gamers. we're actually not talking about Decentraland, which already learned a lot from that, is that you need to prior crypto knowledge for that. So when we're looking at big time, is that we want to bring the fun game to the gamers. Like, we're not talking about you need to invest a lot of money into the first place. That's why we excuse me, sorry. That's what we want to do in a free to play. So when we started the free to play, we were like, okay, what kind of fun games can we produce? So that's why Thor and all these top talented people created the storyline for our game, and then it eventually created a really interesting gameplay on our side, and an interesting storyline for our players. So when they join in, when they start playing big time, they won't even notice that they are actually playing a crypto game. They're just having fun with their friends. So because of that, we're able to draw a lot of attentions from gamers, because gamers, when they're first touching those crypto, we have a lot of people that are original just gamers. They want to learn a little bit more about crypto. They started with a big time TikTok. They was like, oh my god, this is actually a game. They joined our Discord and realized, oh, it's crypto, and then they started to learn more about crypto. And that's something we want to emphasize, is that we want those gamers to join us and then be able to play the game and then enjoy the journey to learn, slowly learning about the crypto. So they don't even need to have prior crypto knowledge. So yeah, that big time is really bridging the gap between the traditional gamers and then the crypto world.
Yeah, it's exactly what Han said. Like, I mean, we all saw Ubisoft, right? The whole idea of, oh, let me go to gamers and say, hey, NFTs, cool. And then the gamers like, no, why are you going this? It's just a cash grab. You guys are greedy. And for us, it's like, no, no, no. Like, the game has to come first, second, and third. And then we can start to, show them, hey, without you guys noticing, you actually have NFTs in your inventory now. And you can easily just, drag it over to the marketplace and sell it. And that's kind of how we want to approach traditional gamers.
Yeah, perfect. It's nice and
Yeah.
smooth. And then so it's free to play then, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Free to play.
Cool. So yeah, I mean that's very exciting. That's a very good way to bring on the mainstream audience. I mean, yeah, gamers will be gamers. If the game is fun, they don't really care. Yeah, but if they can actually earn rewards halfway through grinding, they're like, wait, what? I have NFTs? Or what? I have tokens? What's going on here?
Imagine you
So it's
play
like a,
CS. Yeah, imagine you play CS, is earn that skin, legendary skin. You'd be like, oh my god! And imagine that as an NFT, you can sell it, right?
the glove drop. You're like, oh no, look at this, a couple $100. Look at that. Right, yes, that's perfect. That's really good. I think so which blockchain space will it be on?
Our goal is in the end to be chain agnostic. Right
Nice.
now, we're starting with Ethereum mainnet, but how it works is we have our own technology called the Vault. So you don't need to worry about if you have a game account with us, you don't have to worry about a wallet. You don't have to worry about managing your passcode, gas fees, or anything like that. As long as you're within our platform, the Vault will take care of that for you. And that includes on the marketplace as well. Transacting with other players, you don't have to worry about gas fees. But the moment you do want to take it on chain, it's very seamless. So it's definitely this idea of you have the option to go on chain and extract, your NFTs and tokens, no problem. But if you keep it with us, you can pretty much do the same thing in terms of transacting with other big time players and marketplace users without having to worry about gas fees or having a wallet.
Okay, this vault's an interesting idea. So the vault will be a on-chain storage for all the players. That's
It's off chain with us, so we manage that for the community. But it has a seamless integration with right now the Ethereum mainnet. With we have other chains that we want to bring in sooner rather than later. So anytime they do want to go on chain, then they can.
okay. Cool. I mean, regarding the big time marketplace, we can see that's definitely a revolutionary product by offering on-ramp solution to let players directly buy goods from the marketplace using debit and credit card. I mean, apart from cryptocurrency like Bitcoin and USDC. However, does the patented vault technology helps keeping the player's NFT safe? Like, is there any kind of safety or security protocols around protecting the actual player's NFTs?
Yeah. So if something went terribly wrong on our side, we do have security protocols to make sure that that ownership that players have doesn't disappear. And the truth is, like, we can't once like a player has the NFT, for example, we can't take it away. Like even if we find out at some point, oh yeah, they violated, our terms of use for the game, everything they've earned is still theirs. It's kind of one of the downsides as a developer. It's like, oh man, they earned all this stuff and they were kind of like exploiting something, but it's theirs. So definitely that's all in place to make sure that security first and foremost is up there, and that includes also not just security in terms of from us as developers, but also in terms of people trying to get into your account or people trying to essentially scam you into grabbing your NFTs. So if for our marketplace, besides the traditional like 2FA and some security measures, we also added ID verification, so that once you hit a certain threshold, you need to verify identity, and that'll keep you, one more layer of security within the marketplace.
Amazing. Right. Cool. So, what's the future, guys? I mean, what's the goal for Big Time's role in the metaverse? What are we trying to do here?
Want to take that one, Han, while I catch my breath?
Yeah, obviously. So obviously, our goals for big time is to have tremendous, huge visions for us, right? So like we said, talking about how we want to make sure that we bridge the gap between the traditional players and then the crypto world that owning their own um, NFTs, and we're also committed to pioneers open standards that allows users to leverage their NFT across multiple games in the future. What that means is that we will have this platform to help out different games be able to come trade their NFTs within our platform, right? We also have like really huge futures for us that other games that would like to join our platforms that we be able to help them to grow their company as well in the future. So they don't have to so basically all the players will be able to own their NFTs within our platforms, and then helping the traditional gamers to learn that they'd be able to do that.
Yeah, I know.
Beautiful.
That's definitely it. Like Khan said, we want to onboard other developers. But same way we're very, very picky about how our game feels, gives a good experience. We're only looking to onboard developers that also put that gameplay first in everything we do, in everything they do. And that will then be open to collaborating in the future. Because I mean, we've had questions like, "Hey, can I bring my Axes into big time?" And the truth is, like, yeah, they're NFTs, so it's very easy for a game to allow other NFTs to be brought into them. But it's a lot cooler when, say, like two studios are collaborating with one another and they could do special things together that wouldn't work when it's just one sided, right? Like, hey, we want to make sure that we're using the same token across both games, so we work together to make sure that the economies are very balanced. It's like, hey, we have special items that we want to make sure are usable in both games, so we can actually make the items very balanced, even if games are very different. So I think the collaboration piece of it would be awesome, in the future.
Right. Yeah. Those the NFT integrations into other games is just it's essentially the paramount of metaverses, right? Imagine just carrying your NFT characters across all different games. Oh man, the future is so crazy. It's actually mind blowing.
Yeah, everybody now knows about it because the meta, right? Everybody got sold
Yeah,
the idea of the meta.
I don't think Zuckerberg knows the meta, but he does know. But it's scary though. That's more of a scary meta. We're building something a lot more different, guys.
Oh yeah,
Um,
for sure.
so when's the game coming out, guys? I think that's the biggest question. When can we finally kind of dive in and start experiencing some of these gameplays?
Right. So we did actually mention that a little bit before previous AMA, I think, so around April, that it's where our VIP passes holders will be able to enter the game. We got the gold gonna get in first, and then silver, and then the J. And obviously, currently we do actually have our marketplace open up. So the next thing is tomorrow is actually. So I think you guys is Sydney's times nighttime, right? We have our
Yep.
NFT, I mean VIP pass sell again, and after that we will probably work on our space auctions, which is one of the biggest things because that's the there's only a couple times that we're gonna sell space NFTs. So this is one time, and then there will be around 60,000 of a space NFT will be auctioned off. So that's that, and then we do have yeah, you guys also know that we actually have playtest around alpha playtest before the early access. So that's about the timeline for us um, until the launch. Yeah.
Oh, guys, the space auction is coming out. So, how can players purchase big time NFTs?
Well, the first things you gotta do is you gotta use the link that we're gonna provide. It's nft.bigtime.gg. I will ask you guys help me to put that on there in the chat. So sign up for the marketplace, and then the next thing is tomorrow is when the drop. You guys have to deposit a USDC into our marketplace. You want to make sure you guys do it ahead of time so that you are ready and prepared. Don't get too confused about what's going on with the UI, right? And then that's that. You'll be able to join our VIP pass sales, and then the next one is definitely the auctions. You'll be able to participate in that in our auctions. And if you are going to say, okay, I can't get VIP pass tomorrow, what do I do now? Obviously, there are also passive sales on secondary markets like Binance NFT Marketplace and an OpenSea Marketplace. But of course, be aware there are scammers out there. So just be very, very careful because crypto space, lots of scammers. You want to make sure we always get the correct links from us.
And
Yeah,
where
and
can we
also,
get the links, guys? Where can we get those links, official links? Do you
Yeah.
guys do DMs? You guys don't do DMs in Discord, right? Have to make that very clear.
No, we don't do DMs unless it's I tell you in the chat, hey, I'm going to DM you right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So there's no official DMs from Big Time Games, guys. So please ignore all DMs from official Big Time. No, sorry, ignore all DMs from any kind of Big Time token sales or NFT sales like that. Okay. Please be aware of that.
yeah, definitely. If you want to stay safe, sound, it's nft.bigtime.gg. Once all our passes are sold out from this sale, we'll immediately turn on secondary sales so then players can trade amongst themselves. And we still have either another one or two sales after that of the VIP pass sale. So if you aren't able to get one immediately tomorrow because they do sell out really fast, there'll still be other chances before the early access starts in April.
Okay. Got it.
It's
Got it.
going to be crazy. Our chat and our discourse has been going crazy ever since we announced that our VIP sale is going to happen. And then our moderator are like, oh my God, it's going to be a really brutal tomorrow. Everybody try to fight for that 100 gold, gold passes.
There's only, oh man, 100 gold passes. That's gonna, yeah, it's gonna get very brutal. 100%.
I mean, there are other
That's
passes too, right? There's like the 300 silver and 800 jade, but in total, this is the cool thing: is like we're building this game to support over 1 million monthly active users. Anyone who holds a pass is going to be one of the first 12,000 players in that environment. So the first ones to actually start finding NFTs and start leveling up their characters. You get first dibs essentially.
yeah, yeah.
First dibs.
Another quick question, actually, is it possible to be on mobile?
Oh, I wish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Too
no,
big, huh?
right now, yeah, right now it'll only launch on PC. We're working to make sure the specs aren't very high so that more PCs can run it.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, for the mobile side, it's very much we want to make sure we have like Apple and Google support before we actually make the mobile version. So we'll
Fair enough.
probably end up taking like a Fortnite approach, or we kind of went PC and console and mobile afterwards. So we'll probably be kind of forced into that.
Right, no problem. All right, guys. I mean, that was incredible. You know, we learned so much about Big Time, and I'm personally so excited about the game. I just want to dive in and just start the grind with my Avocadians. Um, is there any kind of thing else you guys want to cover before I open the floor up to pick out some questions from the community?
No, we're down to open up right now.
All right, guys. Avocadians, can you guys all hear me? If you guys have any questions for the team here at Big Time, please ask away.
We actually do have one question that somebody asked. There will be any cosmetic or crafting, or it is only released by developers?
Good question.
Yeah. Actually, Daniel, would you be able to answer that one?
No. Yes, the answer is yes. How we're looking at it is, of course, there'll be a really big variety of NFTs that will drop in the game. Defeating enemies, and then there'll be other NFTs that can be altered in your forge, in your time machine in space. So there is crafting in the game, and there is also NFT crafting and enhancements in the game.
Right. You actually, if you guys check out the game updates, there is a tier for the cosmetic NFTs. So you have different tiers
Ah,
of cosmetic NFTs. Now that's
right.
share that in the chat. Hold on, let me grab that.
I also saw
And
another question I can answer because I think it touches to like my gamer heart, which is someone mentioned, hey, it's gonna be like 80% Diablo, but how you guys are gonna keep up in terms of content? So how content for Big Time is like playable content is being programmed is that one, we have procedure generation of all the dungeons and instances. So even us that we've been playing, we never go into the same dungeon twice. It's pretty cool how the system works. It also randomizes the enemies you face. So every time you go in, it's going to be a different experience. At the same time, we currently have about 5 years of content planned out, and how that works is we're going to be releasing what we're calling timeshares. So since Big Time is based on time travel, and you're going through time back from prehistoric times all the way to future times, just trying to fix everything. How timeshares work is they're like mini expansions throughout the year. So instead of waiting 1 or 2 years for a big expansion like in World of Warcraft, we're looking to do multiple timeshares or mini expansions per year, so that we're always introducing a little bit more cool content. And then obviously a lot of these instances are procedurally generated, so one piece of content can be stretched out for longer periods of time.
That's amazing. Future planning, guys. We're building for a long term here. There's another good question here I actually saw from one of my scholars. Like, how do you listen and respond to complaints from players? That's I think that's pretty important.
That is a great questions actually, because we do really value our community, and we actually has been setting up the suggestions channels in our Discord, and then I actually take a look at most of them, and then in the beginning when we're looking at the central when we look at the whole game developing, right, we have to have our um basically time storylines and then also gameplays. Everything has to set in place first, and then after we got the community start playing, then we'll be able to have their feedback, and then from there we'll be able to evolve into a better game, better community. So in the beginning is basically just for us to create the game first, and then after that we'll be able to listen from the community. Don't worry, all your suggestions, I'm actually looking at it all the time. It's just that at the beginning we'll have to make sure that our games comes out first, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
for
we're
the
really
feed.
looking. Sorry, I was going to quickly add to that is we did talk about the early access passes, but what happens after that is it's early access open to the public. right? So then that's when we're still in what we consider early access stage of the game, but now anyone could come in and start playing. And that's when we're really looking forward to the feedback from our players and communities on what they like, what they don't like, what they would like to see, and it'll actually help determine which way we kind of take the game.
Right. One last question, guys. Do you want to just dig through the Big Time Games AMA chat channel and see if you guys there's anything in there that pops out?
Let's see here. Here's a quick one regarding people who bought the big time NFTs on Binance or OpenSea accounts as well. We don't have the function for the marketplace to bring in NFTs yet, but we will be introducing it in the near future. So you can keep an eye out for that. That was just a quick one.
Nice. All right, guys. I will be selecting 3 of the best questions so far today, and I'll keep my community in the loop of who's gonna win the mystery box. What's in the mystery box? Is that
Yeah,
why it's
so
called
for in the
mystery box?
mystery box, there are postcards, and then also you get a chance to actually be able to have the VIP passes as well. So besides the postcards, those postcards are actually a collection set where you collect 6 of them. You'll be able to redeem for cosmetic NFTs, and then obviously you got VIP passes, right? So that's that's the random drops for within the mystery box.
Yeah, and even if you
Guys.
can't complete the 6, we always recommend people to hold on to those postcards because you know they're going to be very cool in the future. We can't say why, but they're going to be good.
Well,
It's
especially
all
for these
up to
type of
your
games,
imagination.
hold all items. Don't sell. There's no point.
Yeah, our game is still early. You don't know what you're gonna get. People are just like trying to sell it ASAP, but we tell them you gotta hold them.
Hold all, guys. Hold all. Right. Thank you so much, guys, for joining Avocado and doing the AMA today. We learned so much about big time games, and then, all of our scholars are super excited to get straight into it. So, we'll keep them updated about the upcoming games, especially that since you're an official partner of Avocado Guild, we will provide the necessary support for you guys as well. So, if you guys get bored, jump into Avocado Land, have a chat with the scholars here. They're super friendly, and thank you again for joining us today.
That sounds
Yeah,
good. Thanks for having us, guys. Really appreciate it.
yeah, I really
Awesome.
appreciate the times and everybody. Warm welcomes, all you guys chatting the chat. The chat is very active. It's amazing. Yeah.
All right, team. Thank you so much for today. This is the end of our AMAs. Stay tuned for the mystery box winners. And yeah, thank you, Han. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Chip. And we shall speak to you guys soon.
See you
See you guys.
guys.
See you later, guys.